Excuse me, sir, where's your seat?
I'm not going to answer that.
He's trying to find it.
Hopefully you're fixing to sit on it. Thank you for being here. Tonight is our city council workshop, July the 25th of 2024, starting at 5 p.m. Meetings are available to watch on our YouTube channel. Search for the City of Bruceville-Eddy and click the subscribe button. Please mute your phones and computers to avoid any interference during the meeting. Okay. Up here, to my left, I have Ricky Wiggins, our city councilman. I have Mr. McLaughlin. Over here is McLaughlin. This is McGrewer.
And I'm a Mrs.
We have Mr. McGrewer. He's a city councilman. I had too much last night. Okay.
Yeah, I was there.
I tell you. And then we have our city administrator, Kent Manton. And to my right, I have Mr. Prater. He's a city councilman. And I have a female councilwoman, Mrs. McLaughlin. And then y'all know who I am. Back in the back, I have Pam Combs, our city secretary. And I have Jamie Rodriguez. She's in the water department. All right. We're clicking right along here, if y'all can bear with me a minute. I've been brain dead for the last 3 or 4 days, so, but I promise not to be too terrible. Okay, first of all, we're gonna, our citizens presentation. The City Council welcomes public comments at this point on items not specifically listed on the agenda. Speakers must sign up before the meeting begins. Speakers are limited to 5 minutes each. The council cannot respond to matters not listed on the agenda until a future meeting. Do we have anybody signed up to speak? No. Okay, thank you. Okay, number 3, the Tiny Escape. Jim, Jim, we'll get you, if you want to come up to the podium, please. And let us know. It says council to receive a presentation from Jim on Vista Global Enterprises on a proposal for the Tiny Escape development located off of South IH-35 at the corner of County Road 499. Ken, did you want to say anything about that before he speaks?
No, Mayor.
Okay. All right.
Okay,
Would
all
you
right.
like to talk to us about it, sir?
All right. I'm sorry, we're a little bit unorganized right now,
That's okay.
as you see,
Yes, sir.
because
Yes,
our
you can approach.
presentation actually got changed, at the last minute, and we were not able to send it. So we have to go through all this.
And I understand you just got out of the hospital, too.
Yes, I did. I had a
Had
small
surgery.
procedure.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, I was gone for like 2 months, and came back, and then I had to go through all this medical issues.
Yes, sir.
But anyway, I'm glad to be here, and I have met Madam Mayor before, and of course I know Ken Menton. We have met before. We're trying to actually, we said automatically moving, transforming Bruceville-Eddy. I mean, that was the presentation, but I don't have much time to go through all this.
Right.
So what I would request is if we can somehow divide this presentation into maybe 2 or 3 sessions. The time will be totally up to you. What we will do is we will only speak about our tiny escape and not talk about transforming Bruceville-Eddy, because that's a huge project, how are we going to do it, how the opportunities need to be created and all that, I mean, of course, we have experience, we have done that, and I'm still doing it, so that I think will be a good opportunity. But it's most of it is a community work also. Progressive thinking, coming out of the box, basically techniques in order to really transform anything. It costs money. We don't have money, right? That's what you told me very first day, But there's only 2 ways that you can acquire money that I've learned. Either go rob a bank or work in acquiring your funds, So I think it is possible, it can be done, really. And, yes, government will help us, Washington or Austin, if they see us really progressing, with different ideas and stuff. But first of all, what we need is actually, in my opinion, is progressive mind. Do we want to progress? Whatever I'm doing, I'm not doing it for me or for myself, for generations to come, they will thank us, actually. So the project that I really wanted to discuss, which I'm not going to touch, I don't want to take your time, the industrial hemp. Second session, I will go through step by step. A great opportunity. We have a buyer who's begging right here in state of Texas, because rules are that you cannot buy from anywhere, from any other state, only from Texas. So that's a good opportunity, and there's another opportunity that I would like to talk about. But I'm going to present Saif Khurshid. He's actually a PhD student. He's finishing up in 2 years. Sorry, not 2 years, 1.5 years. He's electrical engineer. And by the way, I'm actually computer scientist by trade, but working with as an industrial engineer, So thank you. Good to meet everybody.
Okay.
Hope to meet again soon.
Yes, okay. All right. Seth?
Thank you very much.
Yeah, you can raise that, you can hold it in your hand, however you want to do it.
He's taller than me, actually.
Yeah, he can just hold it.
Yeah.
There you go.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. So, the project which we are currently working on is the official name. What we have suggested right now is the Tinyscape. The project in itself is, I think, much more than just a project, because it involves an ecosystem, which is much more than the boundary of our own project. So, overall, this is like the vision, transforming Bruceville-Eddy into a premier destination. Let me start off with the vision. What is our vision? So basically the whole theme is to have a place where your escape to tranquility is closer than you think. Our tiny homes villages give you the perfect opportunity to unplug, unwind, and explore the beauty that nature has to offer. So basically the vision is to have a place which is like modern, but also like in a natural environment. So where people can travel say from other cities to relax in a natural environment, but also a modern natural environment, So I think we have the ideal spot for that. We already have that.
Secluded type of living, where two people just want to get out of the whole, rat race and just chill for like 2-3 days.
Right. So the concept is the modern luxury Scandinavian style tiny homes in a modern village setting within central Texas. So these are like the, on the right side you can see this is like the overall like vision, where we want to go, a sketch of the vision, And then these are like, the model homes. I'm sorry, the lights are not very, they are bright, so they are not very visible, but these are like the model tiny homes, which we are working already. We have set up a few, and we are in the process of acquiring others.
We are in the process actually. We just placed an order for about 15 of them. So we already have 4 right now. 5.
Right, 5. Right. So this is the overall scene what it looks like as of today, and then where we want to go. On left is what we have established right now, and on the right is our vision, which I also showed in the.
We've got a long ways to go, as you see.
So we already have the land. It's a 70+ acre land, And I think we already have like the ideal spot for, what we have thought. And it's a vision, and for which we also need your help, to fulfill.
Unfortunately, this property comes in like 3 counties, So we get love from 3 counties, 3 separate counties. So if we can make some kind of the process easier for us, I don't know how, really. Because when we had theft a few years ago, we just didn't know where to go. I mean, we were just going back and forth. So we ended up in Falls County, actually. So, I mean, we need to talk about that. That's one agenda item that I told Chief that, we need to figure out some way, where, of course, we're not asking for any, out of the box, something within the legal frame of mind, if we can do something, that would be really helpful. Because then we can go to just one place if we need to get done, municipality-wise and stuff. Because there's a lot of trash people throw there. Man, I am, to be honest with you, for the past number of years, I mean,
Okay.
it's
Ca-
just, I would call Falls County, sometimes I would call Bell County.
What
But anyway,
is,
that's a problem.
yeah.
I don't want to be negative or anything, but,
Just
hey,
so I kind of
it's a
understand,
problem I want to
yeah.
solve.
I'm an old country girl, so you got to kind of explain to me, in plain language, okay? What is it exactly are you wanting the city to do?
Yeah, I think I have like, a few very specific, things which we need help with. So,
Oh, okay. You're
so
going on
just-
down, okay.
Yeah, yeah,
I'll
I
wait.
would definitely, talk
I'm
about
just
it.
throwing in stuff,
Oh, okay.
That's why I'm not speaking, otherwise, we lost.
So, just like, highlighting the location, why we think we are already in the ideal location. We are right in the center, you see, even like, it's not like, isolated, it's right in the center where, Austin is the new Silicon Valley, right? So, and Dallas is a big, it's like a very big city. So, right in the center at 1 hour's drive, 1.5 hours drive from both these cities, we are already located where people are looking to, come and, spend their weekend or, like, so I think location wise, we are ideally placed. Bruceville-Eddy is fortunate to be, placed right in the, so
I first moved to Dallas back in 1970. Only 3 buildings were there.
Is this property you're talking about, is it south of the truck stop where the truck stop is being
Right.
built now,
Right.
right?
right,
Yes,
right.
It's fenced.
Okay, and you're proposing, it's 60 acres, and you're proposing 200 tiny homes with 50 tiny homes in phase 1.
70 plus acres.
70 plus, sorry.
Oh, okay, I'm just reading what's on the paper.
Yeah, sorry. Maybe I typo from my side.
Okay.
Right. So, yeah, I think we updated it, but sorry, this is like an old version. So, anyway, so this is like the overall overview. The tiny scape is what we, proposed the name. It's a 70 acre, almost 70 acres land, 200 tiny homes. I think what the natural features we already have is natural water creek. That's something which
Just
is
the trees. We got beautiful trees.
beautiful
there.
trees.
Unbelievable trees.
Green trees, green forest, and pasture. So that's I think that's
We're gonna
something
keep
a
all
very
that. No, we're not touching that stuff.
so.
In fact, our plan is to move the trees where we don't need them and replant them.
Right.
And that's the project I've given him to
Right.
start with.
So we like plan to do it in 2 separate phases. The phase 1, which we already are working on, is phase 1, in which we are trying to set up 50 tiny homes. We are in the stage of infrastructure development and establishing the overall landscaping and infrastructure. That's where we are right now. Phase 2, which so timeline is December 2024. That's where we are already in
That's
July.
not the change. That's not. Phase 2 is 2026 actually.
Yeah.
December
So
2026.
right. So phase 2, the remaining 150 within like next 2 years. So I mean, for now we want to focus up till like phase 1. Of course, this is ideal. December 2024. It can be, of course, it is flexible, but that's what our aim is. And the remaining 150 homes.
Quickly, I want to interject here. The way we are doing it is we're creating a prototype of like 5 tiny homes. and develop all the infrastructure for 200. Plant trees where we need to plant, nice landscaping and all that good stuff. And then, as we finish all that, then bring in and, manufacture tiny homes, because those are expensive, to put in all the money, so that's what we're doing actually.
But all these tiny homes that you're talking about, these are gonna be for rent. Y'all are gonna own them.
Airbnb,
Right,
Airbnb.
right, yeah.
Right.
We forgot to say this
Oh,
is,
sorry.
yeah,
Yeah.
this is Airbnb.
Airbnb,
type of,
yeah.
Airbnb for weekend, for 2 days, break,
We may not
unplug.
call it Airbnb, but it's
We-
will be tiny escape actually.
Right. The
We
problem.
have our own software and all that.
So we will have like our own platform, which, it would be directly from, our own platform. Maybe we would also utilize Airbnb, but we plan on doing it on our own platform, So,
And we have already started working on it. I was gone for 2 months working on this project also, on the
so,
software side.
right. So the recreational activities, these are all the recreational activities which we plan. So we don't want to have, an Airbnb just simple for living. I think we want to have that inclusive project where everyone is involved, kids are involved, I mean, the whole family is involved. So
And
we
they
have
don't
some
to
very,
come and live there. I mean, community is welcome to come,
Yeah.
That's basically for community to come and enjoy
So-
the weekend
so,
and stuff.
yeah, so we will divide our, overall like project into like, areas. So the recreational areas, some of them would be open to public, like for the city of Bruceville-Eddy, so some of these are like zip lining.
Well, not only Bruceville-Eddy, I mean, whoever
Right.
wants to come.
Right,
they're
I mean, of
welcome.
course.
They're welcome
So-
to come.
Zip lining, ATV, petting zoo, horseback riding, massage parlors,
Wow, I
like
didn't
spa.
know about massage parlor.
Yeah, so,
I think it's illegal here,
no, I mean spa. So sunset,
Dry county actually, come on, you have to be careful.
sunset viewing facility, fire pits, common areas, event center and kayaking, So I think we already have like, the ideal location to set all of these up, as zip lining requires a forest and, we want to have that natural zip lining, in the forest. So some of the figures to kind of like see what we are thinking. So what are the economic benefits and community benefits out of this project? So even if we, with the whole, maybe down the line, 3 years or 4 years from now, let's say, when they are established, with 50% occupancy, these are the numbers, If there are only 2 people booking, 2 people per booking, and 50% occupancy, we are looking at daily almost 200 people, visiting the village every day. I think the overall benefits which we can accrue or get from this is not only, so number one, economic benefit. That's where I think that's why we all here are here for, increase the business and generate like employment and like commercial activities in the.
Stop it for just 1 minute, because before I forget, in doing this thing, creating habitat for 200 people, let's say 50%, there's a really big demand, huge demand for Airbnb, and people pay, premium money to really rent. So what, I was thinking, and I've talked to a few people also, how about if we provide, know-how, expertise? A lot of people have 5 acres, 10 acres, 20 acres, sitting, doing nothing actually, not earning any money. Either you go and do farming actually, and that's another thing that I really want to talk about also, easy farming. How about on each corner, bringing in tiny homes of your choice? Triangular home, capsule home. I think I brought my catalog last time I was here. Right, just pick whatever and start to earn income, and that's a pretty good income. And we can connect you guys, not with our system, with any system you want. People will come, you don't have to do anything actually. Automated key in, key out, cleaning people will come, they will know when to come, what to do. It's very easy actually. So that's one way to really empower local community, Okay, sorry.
So the tourism, attraction of tourists from major cities like Dallas and Austin. Of course, these are near ones. I mean, overall, I think our aim is to not only those two cities, but rather whole Texas and rather other states. Nearby states. Employment opportunities. Think of it. How many jobs it can create, like hospitality, maintenance, recreational. Within all those facilities, you need people to clean. You need people to maintain those facilities, right? So it's not only we getting benefit out of it. I think it's everyone getting benefit out of it.
No, we need to create a destination place,
Right.
where people say, oh, that's a triangle mini city or something, something of that nature, So,
Right. So local business support, of course, when those people come, they want to go to some restaurants, right? So, all those restaurants and different, I think it's
people will pour in. To be honest with you, contractors will pour in. I've seen that many times. First thing you know, all construction companies, builders, they will start to come in and start to build, So, I mean, you'll see it takes off pretty quickly.
So,
I've seen cities within 5 years, and you can go Google it, how they grow,
so,
They're not genius, it's just a common sense,
so employment and local business support. So I think these are like, just wanted to give you an overview what it will bring in. So environmental and social impact, use of eco-friendly material and practices. Nature is the first thing we want to preserve, because that's what everyone is coming out of those cities for, right? So so we would make sure it's eco-friendly, like we don't want to disturb nature, and then bring in that modern tiny house or the village. So community engagement activities and programs for local community involvement, preservation, maintaining natural landscape and biodiversity. Current problems, like coming to the point which I mean.
How much time do we have left for
Oh, sorry, yeah.
You got about a little over 10, about 10 minutes or so.
10 minutes? Okay,
10
yeah.
minutes,
Okay. So right now, what we are facing as of today, number one is a security concern. We already have had theft of $150,000 worth of equipment.
But that's okay, we have recovered, we're moving forward,
Yeah.
We're not stuck there,
So because of those issues, we were kind of held back, for a while to acquire new equipment and stuff. So environmental and health hazards. So there are garbage and people dispose of dead animals in the surrounding area. Of course, it is not in our control, and that's what we also need help for.
Something we do ourselves, but there are lots of stuff. If you got 3 dogs in front of your gate, you can just move them here and there,
So-
I wouldn't know where to dump them, actually.
Right.
Maybe bury them, that would be another.
Landscaping. Landscaping, we have overgrown bushes and poor landscaping around our ranch, especially on the roads which have the access to our ranch. Like for example, in last 2 months, there have been fallen trees which were a problem for us for almost more than 1 week.
We have repaired our fence many times, actually,
Right.
especially on the 498 county side. That's where most trees are, actually.
So, right. So infrastructure support, what we need. So these are, like some of the problems. We are still living with all those problems which were mentioned. I think those are some things which we are not having problem, at least to build as of today. These are long terms, but these ones, infrastructure support request, which we need is directly, I think, which we need your help with.
I don't know, because 20 homes will be here in next 3 months.
Right.
So fire hydrant, if there's a fire, insurance, I've got license, in insurance also. So how are we gonna tackle that? Nobody's gonna give me insurance on those homes or the property actually. So fire hydrant really is our major issue. We're not saying that you provide us, at least guide us how to do it, where
Yeah.
to go and so forth.
Right. Right. Number one,
We would
again,
really appreciate that. That would be
safety.
great help,
With 20 people and not having that fire hydrant, I think that's something which is not in our control, and that's what we need your support for. No fire hydrant as of today. Proposed solution, we think that in the figure, if you see, I think this is like the TV station.
We will talk about that
Okay.
in the next session, because
Okay.
that's different. But water and sewage, I don't know. 20 homes I can afford with my current resources. I have 3/4 inch line right now. So we are doing some mechanical stuff, to support at least, and we're not expecting to have all occupied, all at once, maybe, few, 5, 6, 7, we can afford that. But long run, we need water also, to bring in that 4-inch bigger line actually, 4 or 5 inch, I'm not
Yeah.
sure.
Right.
So, but let's put that to different, presentation.
So, road upgrade,
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
we can-
gonna be next because you
yeah.
don't have time for that.
right, so the broadband internet, I mean, we have satellite,
I can
internet
help
right
with
now?
that. Seriously, I can help with that, but I need some progressive thinking here, We can do it. Government is giving money for broadband, networking and stuff. I mean, I don't know why we don't,
I mean, I can assist, I'm an electrical engineer and,
Yeah.
my PhD is in antennas, so, I mean, that's my area. So I can help with, writing those proposals and getting
we
those.
have to do it. I mean, we're gonna have
Yeah.
to do something for ourselves there.
Right, so I can,
Maybe just cast
I can, make that proposal, what do we need, what are equipment, how much funds, I mean, I can help with that also, if you need, I mean,
Yeah, it can be prepared. I did some work for Falls County actually, but
Right.
unfortunately we just were not able to implement, we did project plans and stuff, but, and my philosophy is plans don't go anywhere if you don't implement them,
Okay, Mr. Wiggins?
So y'all are wanting us to put water line down to you, right?
I tell you, if you can get that,
Yeah.
I can bring this project very fast. Why I
Right.
change my dates?
Well,
is
normally, gentlemen, that when the developer comes in and needs water line, it's their responsibility to pay for that water line, not the city's.
I have no problem, to be honest with you. I spoke with my neighbors, they're not interested. My next door neighbor, what's his name? Gosh, I forgot. Anyway, what he's done is with his plotting, is he has plotted like 1 acre, 2 acres, 3 acres. So I said, we really, I mean, if you guys can help us, participate in the funds, we already got the study, by the way. I think it was $300,000.
$375,000.
$375,000. Now, I mean, that's something that we never budgeted in our, project. So, I mean, we have to do really some creative thinking on that, how to do, if we have to do, if somebody can share with us, because at the end of the day, to be honest with you, what I'm doing is, I'm not working for this guy, I'm looking at the whole city. I mean, we bring in investments also. You'll be surprised what we can do. I mean, that's in our next presentation, actually.
So, I mean, coming to like conclusion, our 200 tiny homes and recreation facilities, which will transform Bruceville-Eddy into a premier vacation destination. We need your support and approval for, again, like if you.
Anything that's legal, I mean, I don't go out of any illegalities or immoral or unethical, no, I never do that,
Fire
So,
hydrant.
but at least, with progressive mind, we can come up with some ideas, how to resolve these things. I mean, somebody needs to help that, whether I do or somebody else does it, I mean, I'm here today, I will not be here tomorrow. Like, I'm only 70+ years old, I'm not doing it for myself, Anyway, continue.
So priority wise, fire hydrant and water, sewer, that's like one, and then, we can keep that, those in like, so one is like the road widening, and we need a small U-turn. I don't want to cover it.
Benefit the whole community there,
Right.
It's not benefiting us only,
So broadband, think about like 200 people, like, when they come, it brings in traffic. So that's something, which because of time, I could not cover it.
Help the truck stop also, the one that's
Right.
being built.
Right, exactly. So, and broadband internet. So these are like 4 agenda points, which we need help and support with. But if
Not
you,
financially, trust
Not-
me. We just need to work together. Sometimes we may need some approvals or something. And I'm willing to pay for the permits also. I mean, I'm not asking for anything for free, But, major items, I mean, we may gonna have to, next thing will be, sewage. I mean, I know sewage is coming at some location and it ends there.
so it's already covered, right? I mean, water and sewer, right?
Okay, water and sewer, but you know, I'm
Right.
talking about basically water actually. I was thinking about water. But sewage, I mean, you know, it's very costly actually if you do it in
Oh.
partitions, you know.
Oh, like,
Extremely costly. This project becomes
The septic system.
not, the whole
Oh,
septic
yeah.
system.
I mean, we,
It's
you know, I
not
mean, the
feasible.
alternate, you know, which we have in mind is too expensive for such a large scale, you
It's
know.
not feasible, it doesn't become feasible actually.
Right.
Because, you know, all the legal things, you know, for example, like, you know, you have to have like 5 acre or distance, you know, 50 meter on each side, you know, like those things. It kind of like goes beyond, you know, what we have, the land which we have. So, you know, that's the problem.
Yeah. Well, you know, as far as, go ahead, Mr. Wiggins. Go
As,
ahead.
as far as, I can't see how we can help you on the road widening
Or the sewer.
or the broadband internet access. I mean,
But no,
to me,
like I said, we just need moral support actually. If we bring in broadband here, if let's say there's a grant for $10 million, which it is, I don't know if it's already expired or what, it's available. I don't know why you guys don't utilize that, you know. Get your attorneys involved in this, willing to work, you know, volunteer for that. You know, I have no problem with that.
okay, and then on the water, to me, I mean, y'all would have to pick up the cost to get the proper size line down to y'all. And I believe in order for you to have a fire hydrant, it has to be at least a 6-inch line.
Also, we have to pay for the fire hydrant. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, the water line down to you, and in order for you to have a fire hydrant, it's gonna have to be a 6-inch water line.
Is this the law? I mean, is this
Yeah.
the city law?
City ordinance.
It's an ordinance.
City ordinance.
But they're not in the city. They're not in the city. They're outside the city limits. Is where they're at.
But they're in our water.
It's within inside the TEJ.
Yeah.
And y'all will be using our water. But in order to put a fire hydrant out, it would need to be on a 6-inch line. So the line would have to be improved 6-inch. We're working with someone right now. They're going to be digging their own ditch, buying their own pipe. We're just going to oversee it to make sure it's done properly. You know, but you'd be responsible for doing all of that. We could oversee it and inspect it and
Couple
things
years
like that.
ago, Madam Mayor,
And as far as sewer, we hadn't even got sewer for our city yet, let alone outside our city limits.
so my, you know, my whole vision is, I'm willing to work. I mean, if you guys, you know, you folks can morally support us that yes, we need this. This is for the city, for the county or whatever. I'm willing to go to
right.
Boston. If I need to go to Washington, I'll go there. I'll help you also.
Well, we appreciate it. Of course, right now, I've got to tell you that your time's up. But, so we'll need to do this at another time for another, you know, section of it or whatever.
Hemp, I mean,
But
I'm really
it
interested-
gives us all something to think about and look
Okay.
at. We've got your literature, and it gives us something to look.
Session to speak about the opportunity.
Sure, and that is no problem. We can set up 5 o'clock, you know, we can have workshops to, y'all come in and talk with
Thank you
us.
so much. I
No
really
problem.
appreciate the time. and
You bet.
opportunity you folks
And hey, we wish you all the luck in the world, and, you know, if there's something we can do, we'll
Just
do
came
our
back
best,
from
but,
Europe.
you know,
Just came back from Europe, actually.
yeah.
My time is up.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank
You
you.
have a blessed night. Bye-bye.
Later.
Yeah, we're fixing to go to the next thing here. Okay, on. Yeah, presentation of the proposal to 2024-2025 budget and tax rate. Council to discuss and consider the proposed 24-25 budget and tax rate. City Administrator Kent Manton will provide an overview of the proposed 24-25 budget and tax rate and solicit initial feedback and on amendments prior to the council budget workshop. Kent?
Mayor, Council, thank you so much for this opportunity. Wanted to go ahead and get this in your hands so you can start considering it. Of course, next Thursday, I have scheduled our first budget workshop for 10 a.m. on August the 1st. This will be our first ever joint session with the BEEDC. They're going to be in attendance so they can give you some feedback on the budget as far as their fund is concerned. But just wanted to go over over a few here, just give you all an opportunity to give us some feedback. Go ahead and request any specific changes that y'all want to see as we work through this. So the overview for next fiscal year, 2024-2025, let me go ahead and just thank everybody who served on the budget committee. Pam, thank you so much. Esther, Mayor Owens, council members McGruer and Wiggins, myself, we spent quite a few hours working through this. There's a lot of research that we weren't able to get to, a lot of projects that weren't able to be included in this. We did have to cut some out, but I think what you'll see here is really robust. It maintains the status quo, and it plans for all these projects that we've been discussing throughout the year. So this is a reflection of the priorities continuing into next year. So one of the good things that I can mention up here at the top is, yes, this budget will fully fund our current operations, and it does maintain the property tax rate of 46 cents per $100. So, woohoo, not going up at least, right? Yeah, like everything else is. This does fund significant improvements and maintenance to our water system. This is going to be a combination of grant funding and cash contributions from our fund balance. Now, a lot of the projects that we had planned for this year, we have spent money on for design. However, we haven't actually gotten to dig dirt yet. That's coming very soon, but it's not quite here. So when we plan for this, we're planning that everything will be spent in the next fiscal year. So this also accounts for the construction of our sewer system. This is a massive project, right? Our normal operating budget is about $4 to $5 million. The sewer system construction alone is $18 million. So we're responsible for handling a lot more finances than we have in the past. And with that comes a higher price tag for our audit. We'll have to be in compliance with the Single Audit Act for those federal funds that are coming into our coffers. So that definitely increases our auditing costs for next year. So keep that in mind when you see the bill for that. This is going to fund several drainage improvements. I'm sure you've noticed around town, ladies and gentlemen, the work that our crews have been doing. They've been doing this intermittently when they can, in between water leaks, in between other projects, but they have been targeting those areas along 107, trying to just provide some additional capacity for that water when it swells, that it can be captured there. So I'll show you some work a little bit later in the council session on what we've been doing there. But this will fund $7,500 worth of culvert that we could purchase. Some of those culverts we're actually going to be upgrading to concrete and away from the tin horns that we've traditionally been using at targeted areas like Franklin, where they keep getting smashed in and our crews have to keep going back and keep fixing. So that'll really help us plan for the future. So this also increases our investment in city streets. If y'all been paying attention, you know that that street funding has increased every year since 2022. This next year, it would increase 46% over where we currently are, and that's outside of the work that the sewer system is going to incorporate for street overlays. This also is going to fund employee and retiree compensation and benefit changes. We'll get into some more details on what that looks like at our budget workshop. And it also does provide funding for an animal control services enforcement activities solution. We've kind of gone back to the drawing board, but unfortunately, some of the same solutions keep coming up. Interlocal agreement with the city of Waco, or at least more resources for us to be able to fund some sort of solution here in-house. So just looking at tax rate comparisons with other cities, unfortunately, a lot of the other documents from other cities haven't been published just yet. We're ahead of the game. But you can see here that the current year, we're sitting down towards the low end of property tax valuations. We're right in line with about what Moody's doing. Of course, can't beat Troy at 37 cents there. They've got us beat on that one. But over here in the right-hand column, you'll see the proposals for next year. And it looks like I got a typo there. I apologize. 2024, 2025. But we're still going to be one of the lower ones here in McLennan County. So some major budget updates. I'll just hit a few of these, and then I'll open it up for any questions that you might have. Again, investing in water system infrastructure and proactive maintenance. Last year, the year before, we've been just getting killed on these water wells, and so this is going to set aside additional money for us to be able to target, hopefully, a long-term solution. Invest in those street repairs, increase pay for our police officers. a 3.2% COLA for employees with greater than 1 year of service, TMRS plan changes. So this was talked about at council a few months ago, talking about a first ever COLA for retirees. We looked at several different options from TMRS. They were all pretty expensive, but we were able to find one that would work for us. It'd be a 30% non-repeating COLA option, or sorry, repeating COLA option, non-retroactive. This is also going to provide for consulting services for our water and our sewer system. One of the aspects of the sewer that we'll need to address is having properly trained individuals to service that. We do have at least one employee with a wastewater license. However, he's not really in a position to be able to upgrade that. But we've been working with a member of our infrastructure planning committee, a long-term, Bruceville-Eddy, who has since moved off but has Class A water and wastewater licenses, who's willing to offer these services to us. So that'd be a huge win. This is also going to provide consulting services associated with bidding, negotiating, and securing a new solid waste contract. Don't know exactly how much that would cost or what that would look like, but I think for us to get our best bang for our buck and to be able to get a contract that's going to work for us for several years, spend a little bit of money on the front end to make sure those negotiations take place and we can get a solid vendor in here would really be worth our while. Of course, that contract's not up until 2026, but over the next fiscal year, we'll have to give them notice that we are considering moving to a new vendor. So we've also got increased rates for health and general liability / property insurance. Equipment purchases for the Public Works Department, we've really kind of dialed it down from what we've been purchasing the last years. We've only accounted for a new dump trailer, and that rolling stock generator that we weren't able to purchase this fiscal year. I already mentioned the purchase of the culvert upgrades, and this also reflects the cost of the sewer system construction and the initial implementation. But it also, you'll see some high numbers in there, especially on the general fund side. So that's for our community development block grant. We're assuming that we're going to be awarded that in February officially, and so we'll have to account for the money coming in and the money going out on that one. And with that, I'll answer any questions that you have on our plans for next fiscal year.
Does anybody have any questions? Mr. Wiggins?
Hey, Kent, where'd you come up with that item number 2, if you back up,
Sure.
at 136,077?
Say that one
The
more time.
first page.
For the street maintenance?
No,
That's on the proposed budget.
yeah. Well, it was on page 1 on mine, yeah.
That's not up there on the screen.
Oh, it's not? Okay. Okay, you come up with 136,077 for street maintenance? And you show, I guess, 36,077 from the sales tax.
Tracking,
and
sir.
66,440 from the general fund, that's only 102,517. Leaves remaining of 33,560. Where's that from?
So that 136,000, that's an error there. I apologize.
Okay.
We had originally started the budget at 100,000, and then we had to dial that back a little bit with the cuts that we
Okay,
were
so
making.
it's gonna be the 102, gonna be those two numbers added together, 102,517.
You got it, sir.
Okay. Okay. Okay, that's all I had.
Good to go.
Anybody else have any questions about the
If not-
budget or anything we've talked about on it?
From the public?
From the public, does the public have any questions?
If not, I'll be getting y'all quite a bit more information as we prepare for next week, and I look forward to continuing the discussions and seeing how you want these numbers to play out next year.
Okay, all right. Hang on. It is now, let's see, the time here, number 5. Mr. Prater, this is a good one for you.
Make a motion to
Adjourn.
adjourn.
All right. Do I
And
have
I
a
se-
second on
I
that?
second.
All right. All in favor? All right. It is now 5:44 and the 5 o'clock workshop is over. We'll be adjourned back here at 6 p.m. this down. And this meeting is also available to watch on our YouTube channel. You can search for the City of Bruceville-Eddy and click the subscribe buttons. Again, I want to say thank you all for coming. We appreciate it. And if y'all would please stand for our prayer. Our Heavenly Father, we thank you tonight for everything that you have done for us in our life. We know, Lord, that you're the one that gave us our first breath, and we thank you for that. Lord, we pray for the ones out there that are sick or having hard times, that you may reach down and put your hands on them and make things good for them, Lord God. There is so many of us out there that need help. Some ask, some will not. I just pray, Lord God, that you just let us all know if there's something we can do to help our brothers and sisters. Lord, I pray for all of our first responders, our police department, our fire department, everyone out there that puts their life on the line just going out to help someone. I pray for all the city workers that we have. They're out there in this heat, in humidity every day, working in ditches and digging ditches and mowing and just trying to keep our city going. You know, I mean, they're out there working very hard. And Lord God, I also pray for the people inside the office. And without these ladies and our city administrator, I don't think we would make it right now, because it has been really good. We got some good people up here, and we finally got us a good city administrator. And I thank you for that. And Lord God, I also want to thank you for our council members, because it takes these 5 people up here. They are up here to listen to you. They are here to understand what the citizens want to say. They are here for the citizens. They were elected by the citizens, but they're also here to make the right decision for our city. Because once we make the right decision for our city, then that will eventually help our citizens. Lord God, again, I just want to say thank you for everything that you do for everyone. I ask for all these things in the precious name of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Amen. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, and one indivisible. You may have a seat. Okay, again, and I'm going to get it right this time, I hope. No promises. No promises. But to my left, I have Councilman Wiggins and Councilman McGruer. Don't you do that to me. McGruer. And I have our city administrator, Kent Manton. And then to my right, I have Councilman Griffin, Councilman Prater, and Councilwoman McLaughlin. And back at the back, we have our chief of police, Michael Dorsey. And we have our code enforcer / everything else, Walter. And we have Pam Combs, our city secretary. And we have Jamie Rodriguez. She is in our water department. Again, thank y'all very much for being here tonight. And I hope that you learn a lot, and I hope we learn a lot. So thank you. God bless you all. Okay. Do we have any community announcements? Okay. You just sit down, but hop on up here, lady. Okay.
I have one also.
Hello, Danielle from 215 Hungry Hill. Just to announce that we have our bingo, first Friday night bingo, August 2nd at 6:30 p.m. It's going to be pool party themed, and our mocktail of the month is Pina Colada. And then we are also having a back-to-school fundraiser at the church as well, Bruceville-Eddy United Methodist Church. And it's going to be August 17th, 10 to 1. And we're going to be doing a kids' fun day out there. So we'll have a wet bounce house, lawn games, bubbles, And then we'll be doing a Mexican lunch for $10 a plate.
Wonderful, sounds great, okay. All right, anybody else have an announcement? Mr. Prater?
Bruceville Community Church will be having Vacation Bible School starting Wednesday, the 31st
Okay.
to August the 2nd. Bring your kids out. They're going to have a big water slide, and they'll be feeding them. And I think it's from 5 to. Oh yes, I don't remember the dates on that. And we'll have the train out Friday night, so running them around, and free haircuts on the 11th, I believe,
On the 11th?
at the
For the school kids?
Baptist Church.
Oh, how
yes.
nice.
No, Methodist,
United
yeah, Methodist Church.
Okay, great. Got free haircuts for the kids. Woo-hoo. All right, wonderful, wonderful.
And I have one.
Okay. Ms. Moore.
Bethany Fellowship Church is having a fundraiser on August 17th from 4 to 7. It's a spaghetti dinner. It's $12 for adults, $7 for children 4 to 12. And we're also going to have a bake sale with that. So come on out, eat some really good spaghetti and meatballs. It's all going to go toward our building fund.
Okay. All right, any more announcements?
Mayor, I had a couple more.
Okay, you go for it.
Just going to say, next week we will be having our council budget workshop, August the 1st. That's going to start off at 10 a.m. There will be a short special call meeting right after that, but this is going to be a first ever joint session with the Economic Development Corporation. And then also the opening for council seats in the November election has been posted. The deadline to file is going to be August the 19th. So if you're interested in serving, there are 3 positions open. Please get with City Secretary Pam Combs throughout the week, and she'll be able to help you out with all the paperwork.
All right, anybody else have any more announcements? Okay. We can have a fundraiser for me. I mean, I'll no. Anyway, but thank y'all. All right, moving right along. Number 4, well, what we're going to do next, we're going to take number 23 and move it up. Okay. Oh, we got, oh, yeah. Nope. Next is our citizens' presentations. The City Council welcomes public comments at this point on items not specifically listed on the agenda. Speakers must sign up before the meeting begins. Speakers are limited to 5 minutes each. The council cannot respond to matters not listed on the agenda until a future meeting. So do we have anybody signed up to speak? No. About anything? Okay. All right. Now we're going to do item number 23. We're moving it up to the next slot. And number 23 is the equipment building public works facility at Hudson Lane. Council discuss, consider, and possibly take action on quotes submitted for the construction of an equipment awning otherwise reviewed to as a pole barn for the public works facility Ford Water Plant site located at 410 Hudson Lane. Purchased to be in lien of previously planned fuel station budget line item number 10-10-6919. Okay, Kent?
Mayor, Council, thank you so much. We had previously planned for a fuel station to be installed probably behind the police department. We were going to do that with a split of funds last year. However, with the travel center and the CEFCO now moving forward, we thought it best to move to some other priorities and save that money. So council has requested that this item be brought up. This is going to be a soft bid that we did for an equipment awning or a pole barn. So this is going to be to cover some equipment out at the Public Works facility located at that 410 Hudson site. We did budget $20,000 originally for the fuel station this fiscal year, so that's what we're working off with for this project. So if this is approved tonight, we would build this instead of the fuel station. We had various quotes and designs submitted for this proposal, and they all look just a little bit different, so I'm probably going to give everybody an opportunity who's in the audience to kind of explain their proposals. It does not include sidewalls, so what you got up there on the picture is a rendering of what this pole barn might look like, not exactly a proposal that any one person submitted. So it would be about a 14-foot roof, which would give us about a foot or two of clearance with any equipment that we have on a trailer. The biggest piece of equipment we'll have is the backhoe sitting on top of that trailer, and it'll give us a little bit of wiggle room in there. So my recommendation on this one is to approve, and I'll go over just a couple more key pieces of information before we all get into your discussion. So this is going to be the proposed location of that awning. As you can see, this is the Public Works facility as it stands today. We got our water tower back here. This down here is Hudson Lane. And here is an overview of the quotes that we received. We did have 5 different vendors submit quotes. 2 of those submitted alternate proposals for what they thought might be a little bit better proposal than what we had asked for. But all the quotes circle around that 20,000, 25,000 average. And you've got an average of about 2,000 square feet. With that, I'll leave it to John.
All right, do we have any questions, or if somebody wants to come up here and explain their bids or anything? Y'all want to talk about it, or if y'all have any questions? Me, myself, I'm looking up there, it's going to have, they got, some of them are 3060s, some are 4060s, some are 3072s, 4060s, 4080s, 3075, and a 4060. So, and the height is 16 foot to 14 foot on most of them, and except for the last 4, and those were question marks. So,
And Gene does say, he sends his regards. He couldn't be here tonight, but he said he's available for questions if we need
yeah,
to give him a
if
call.
y'all have any questions, we can call him. Does anybody have any questions? Anybody want to discuss it?
I'll say so.
Okay, Mr. Wiggins?
Okay,
Okay, be with you just a moment, man.
they're all gonna be made out of metal, right?
Yes.
That's correct.
Okay, so it won't be no wood involved. And, you know, we've got the 30 by 60, 40 by 60, 30 by 72, 40 by 60, 40 by 80, 30 by 75, and a 40 by 60. And the one that stands out to me, of course, is that $17,000. Yeah, for a 30 by 72, which is a pretty good building. And I know that says 14 foot 7 is that right? 14 foot 7 inch, the height? Yeah.
Is that right in the
Yep.
center?
I,
Can y'all please come to the mic, please? And because this is so people can hear you on the YouTube. I'm sorry. I know, well, me too, but they make me have one.
When you order the material for the, these, I use 3/16 posts, so they're gonna be 20-foot length, so you can make it any height you want it.
oh, okay.
so-
I'd have seen him, your bid, it said 30 by 72 by 14.
Well,
And I didn't know if that was a mistake, but,
you don't really need 15, 16 foot, and you can't carry nothing on highway that tall.
right,
If you look at the bridges on overpasses, I think it's 13 something is the height that you can carry something on the
13.6.
interstate, so I can't see a backhoe on a trailer being that
right.
needing 15-foot clearance.
No, yeah, that's right.
And if you're building an awning or a lean-to, you want to keep it as low to the ground as you can, keep the wind from being a factor of
Right.
tearing it up.
Yes, sir.
Right, okay,
So,
okay. So I'm good with that, with that
30 by
option,
72?
that $17,000 one.
Okay. Okay, yes, ma'am? You want to come to the mic, please?
Just want clarification on with the concrete piers. It says no, so what are they using instead? Just, I'd like to know what it is what it is.
Okay, yeah, what kind of, all right, wants to know what kind of concrete piers are you using? It says no. So what are you using? Yes, please, come up to the mic. Sorry, Mr. Strick, sorry, sir. If,
I'm not sure why they would want to pour concrete piers, but I'm gonna dig holes in the ground and plant the post in the ground. concrete piers would be a waste of money to pay somebody to come out here and put something in the ground that you're going well to.
Oh, okay.
Then you gotta get another contractor involved.
All right, that's
When
what
I can-
concrete piers
yeah,
mean, is
and
having it welded?
That ground is rocky over there, so if you dig it with a Beltec and then put that, in cement, it ain't coming out of the ground.
True, so it
Okay,
will be
so-
in cement.
Yeah, so you're gonna put the metal in the
Yeah,
ground, and then you're gonna put concrete in
Yeah,
there.
and then pour the concrete in
Yes,
there.
right.
Instead of putting
Okay.
weld plates. And a weld plate, when you place a weld plate in a concrete pad, it only goes in the ground that far. So
Right.
don't matter how big a hole they put and put concrete in
Okay.
there, you still only got that much contact.
Right.
All right.
So,
Okay.
but that post will be contact to the ground, 3 foot.
Thank you,
Right, okay.
sir. Thank you. Did I answer your question, ma'am? Yes. Okay, thank you. Anybody else? Mr. McGurr?
So I just need some clarification. So there actually is going to be some concrete here. We're not just
Yes.
putting
No, it's
posts in the
going to be in
ground.
concrete.
It's going to be placed in the ground, and the concrete will be around it on the outside. So a good wind isn't going to blow this away.
Yeah.
Is that
The
correct?
wind's not going to blow it away.
Okay.
Well, and also I'll blow holes in the bottom of the post, 3 by 3 holes at the bottom of the post, so when they pour the cement, it goes in.
Seeps in those holes.
Okay.
All right. Sounds great. All right, anybody else have any questions, or does anybody want to make a motion, or?
I'll make a motion.
Okay, Mr. Prater?
We accept that S2S bid for,
S2S,
yeah. That's Strickland, yeah.
okay.
I'll second that for
Okay.
17,000.
17, okay, for the 30-foot by 72. It says 14.7 square foot is 2160 for $17,000, and it will be in concrete around the poles in the ground. So, all in favor? Unanimous, thank you. Thank you, sir. Okay. Number 4, final plat, 1011 Park Lake Drive. Council to discuss, consider, and possibly take action on a final plat submission of property owned by Bylon and Tabitha, being 3 tracts of land, .23 acres, 11.39 acres, and .15 acres respectively out of JOE Green Survey, and included lots 23, 27, and 28 of the Shady Shore Estate Edition, generally located at 1011 Park Lake Drive, Eddy, Texas. Yes, ma'am.
I didn't know if you needed me up here to answer any
Yes, if
questions.
you want to-
I'd love to not, but
Oh.
I hate speaking in public, but I'm here if you need me.
I'll go ahead and hop into it.
Let-
I'll
let him
say
talk about it.
Maybe this will answer all the questions. So just to reiterate on this project here, the property owner initiated this platting process due to the need to replace this aging septic tank. The new regulations do require that septic tanks be on at least half an acre parcel of land. Systems cannot extend past property lines. So the property owner is seeking to subdivide their land within the city limits and the ETJ to meet their family's current and future needs. Just to remind everybody, a variance was approved by council for a 50-foot lot frontage at the 3/28/2024 meeting. That's for this section here. And then another variance was approved by council for the required topographic map submission at the 5/23/2024 meeting. So here's a rendering of what that plat looks like. It's going to have 2 parcels. This one here is where the current family home site is, and this additional land inclusion is going to allow for them to increase that sewer septic system's footprint. And then over here is where they're looking to build long-term. So engineers have reviewed the final plat and have recommended approval with no further comment. The SDO sections that were in question when council previously granted the conditional approval of the preliminary plat have been resolved. And just for reference, the plat was deemed filed on 7/8/2024. 30 days of action ends on 8/7.
All right. Do we have any questions or anything to say about it? Mr. Wiggins, go ahead.
I'll make a motion that we approve the final plat for 1011 Park Lake Drive.
I'll second.
Okay, Mr. Prater seconded. All in favor? Unanimous. Congratulations, you didn't have to talk. Just all that sweat. Yes, ma'am, thank you, yes, thank you. All right, number 5. Okay, I need to give a time for this, because we're gonna have to open this public meeting. All right, it is now 6:21, and the city council meeting is closed. It is now 6:21, and open public hearing. A zoning change for single-family dwelling District 1 to multifamily District 1, 216, 218, and 220 Melissa Street in Eddy, Texas. Council to hear public comments pertaining to an owner entitled zoning change on property located at 216, 218, and 220 Melissa Street, Texas, containing a total of .93 acres, further described as being located within the city limits of Bruceville-Eddy along Melissa Street from its current destination of single-family dwelling District 1 to multifamily dwelling District 1. Okay?
Mayor, we're just going to switch it up a little bit on the public hearings.
Okay,
I
sure.
thought it'd be best to start giving everybody a little bit of information before we allow for public comments.
Sure.
So this is a zoning change request from single-family to multifamily. This was requested by the owner to rezone these 3 properties as just described. So you can see up here on the screen, we've got the different breakdowns of the zoning district types. So currently it's in that SF1, and they're looking to go to multifamily 1 for the development of duplexes. So here's the property map. This is all the way at the end of Melissa Street. There's 3 lots. Each one has a 90-foot frontage to it. This is our current zoning map, which establishes that entire street in that single-family district for the time being. So this zoning change would allow the property owner to proceed with their desire to build duplex on each of the 3 lots. It would be able, however, it would not allow for the traditional apartment to be put on the current lot configuration. They would have to replat if they were interested in doing that, but they have not indicated that as their desire. The property owners have already been working with Waco-McLennan County Public Health District for an approval of on-site sewage facilities on lots smaller than ½ acre. There's an engineering process, certification process that they have to go through in order to get that designation. This use is comparable to others in the area. There are 2 duplexes already at the end of Melissa Street. They are legal non-conforming at this time. And here's just an overview of those lot widths per the zoning district. So you can see here the minimum for that single family or multifamily District 1 is 60 foot. Again, each of these lots is at 90 foot. So as required by our zoning ordinance, proper notice of this application and hearing were published in the Waco Tribune-Herald. 5 notices were sent out to adjacent property owners. This ordinance would amend the zoning map. However, the use is consistent with the comprehensive plan. And with that, we'll open it up to public
All right,
comments
it's open
for
up
the-
to anything with public comments, if anybody has anything.
And we also have the submitter
Yeah.
here as well.
Okay, yes, ma'am.
The first paper that you had up there said something about up to 20 units. Can you go back to that?
Sure.
Multi-garden apartment development of 1 to 3 stories and approximately 20 units per acre. Is that what they're asking for, the property owner?
No, ma'am, and I'll let the property owner speak. He is here tonight. That is not what they're requesting, but this zoning would allow for it. However, the current lots, they wouldn't be able to put any apartment on these properties with them being as small as they are.
So would it be keeping in line with the duplexes that are already down there where it's just one house with 1 unit on one side and another unit on the other?
Yes, ma'am. I think it'd be a total of 6 units, or 6 apartments.
All right.
Well, for
That's all.
3,
Duplexes, yes, ma'am.
3 duplexes would be 6 living facilities. Yes, sir. Would you like to come up and tell us a little bit about it, sir?
All right.
Fine.
Yeah, so it'll be 3 individual duplexes. If you want to pull up the plat, there'll be 1 duplex per lot. They're already we already have the home plan design from the architect. It's already been approved for the septic design from McLennan County, plus we have the water meter study that's been completed as well. So it'll be one duplex per that mirrors the two duplexes that are already adjacent to it, the 104, 786, and 789.
Okay.
Oh, each one will be right at 2,400 square feet, so 1,200 livable square foot per side.
Okay. All right. Anybody have any questions? Anything else? Okay. All right, nothing else going on? Okay. All right. It is now 6:26, and the public hearing is closed. And it is now 6:27, and our regular council session is back in session. Number 6, closed public hearing, zoning change from single-family dwelling District 1 to multifamily District 1, 216, 218, 220 Melissa Street. So that's what we just talked about, so we can go to number 7. The zoning change from single-family dwelling District 1 to multifamily District 1, 2016, 2018, 2022 Melissa Street in Eddy, Texas, 76524. At the request of the property owner, council discuss, consider, and possibly take action to approve ordinance 07-25-2024-2, changing the zoning classification on property located at 216, 218, and 220 Melissa Street in Eddy, Texas, containing a total of 0.93 acres, further described as being located within the city limits of Bruceville-Eddy along Melissa Street and its current destination of single-family dwelling District 1 to the multifamily District Dwelling 1, and amending the official zoning map of the city of Bruceville-Eddy, McLennan County, Texas to rightly reflect said changes. All right, Mr. Wiggins.
Okay, with the understanding here that, that the owner there indicated that he is gonna put duplexes on each one of those 3 properties, then I'm gonna, move to agree with the, ordinance number 07-25-2024-2 to approve that ordinance.
All right. Okay, and Mr. McGruer seconded that. All in favor? Okay, your zoning has been changed, sir. Thank you. You have a good day, and you're welcome to stay and listen to the rest of this. I mean, what can we offer? We got cake. All right, thank you. You have a blessed one. Okay, number 8. Okay, it is now 6:29, and our regular council session is closed, and it is 6:29, and we have a public hearing. Our public hearing is conditional use permit application for 1975 Old Moody Road. Council to hear public comments pertaining to a requested conditional use permit for a manufactured home to be installed at 1975 Old Moody Road, Eddy, Texas. Halford Abstract, a property currently zoned for single-family residential dwelling. The public hearing is open to any interested person with opinions, objections, and/or comments related to this matter. Comments related to this matter may only be expressed via mail, email, or by appearing in person. Another person or attorney may also represent you. Okay, it is now open. Does anybody have anything that you want to talk about?
I'll go ahead
this
and
again?
get to the
Okay.
specifics of the property before we
Okay.
bring up everybody. So this is a conditional use permit application. It's a request to install a manufactured house on property currently zoned for single-family dwelling District 1. The proposed use is inconsistent and contrary to our current zoning map, which was established in 2003, just a little ways ago, which designates this property and adjacent properties for single-family dwellings. The proposed use, however, is consistent with our comprehensive plan, which designates that general area, that property for just residential housing of any type. The CUP process, however, does allow for uses contrary to the zoning map with council approval, which is why we're here tonight. So here's an overview of the map of the property. This is a horseshoe parcel that stretches on one side over here to the west of Old Moody Road and then back over here to the east side of Old Moody Road. Right here on the zoning map, you can see that it's all single-family district. However, right across the street is unincorporated McLennan County. This is the site right there in that circle where the property owner is looking to install this manufactured house. Here's some pictures of the current property. It's just raw, undeveloped land. Then we've got some pictures of the surrounding area. So you'll see there, 1975 Old Moody Road South. That is actually the property owner's daughter that lives there in that newly built home. And then right across the street, you can see the manufactured home that's kind of comparable with this area, but that's in McLennan County, not incorporated. So they're desiring, the property owner's desiring to install a new Clayton 3-2, about 1,400 square feet. It'd be a manufactured home on that undeveloped land. You can see manufactured homes located across and down along Old Moody Road, both within the city limits and in parcels of McLennan County. This conditional use permit would go with the land and can be revoked by city council at any time following the same process for this amendment. So as required by state law, our zoning ordinance, proper notice of this application and hearing were published in the Waco Tribune Herald. 6 notices were sent out to adjacent property owners. And with that, I'll leave it up to council, and the property owner is here tonight for any questions.
Anybody have any questions if the property owner? Yes, ma'am?
Cherie McGruer, 915 Old Moody Road. When we bought our property there, we were told that we could only have a manufactured home if it faced Soul Circle, and if it faced Old Moody, Old Moody Road, we could not put a manufactured home in there. So
They say
Well,
why?
it was in our papers when we had to sign to buy that property.
But there's a variance for it to put in a mobile home.
Variance,
Uh,
okay.
I read the letter that they come to the council with, and from what I tell, I can see they're trying to take care of their elderly parents. Where are they at?
Would y'all like to say something? Somebody want to talk about this? You want to, sir?
Jesus, you want to come up?
Yes, sir. You have a question?
Yeah, so I had to put a, you call it manufactured home, but I had to put a modular home on the place I lived, and that was the only approval you could get. You couldn't have the option of putting a manufactured home where I put mine, whereas there's a big difference when you buy a manufactured home and a modular home was about $20,000 difference. So if it gets approved down there, will you approve the same thing being one put in 4th Street also? Because I live on Pine Street too. So that makes a big difference. So you approve it down there. I know that you got manufactured homes right on the other side of the road, but.
So, yeah, I can address that one.
All
So
right.
the conditional use permit process does allow council to approve either a modular or a manufactured home in any area that it's not currently zoned for. They just have to go through this entire application process, and I apologize if that information wasn't provided to you when you went through that process, but the zoning rules have not changed on that one, from my understanding.
Well, like I was saying, they're just trying to take care of their parents, elderly parents, and they're, if nobody, I mean, go ahead.
Okay. Yes, ma'am?
Danielle McGrew, 215 Hungry Hill Road. We've been trying to be very good about not making exceptions to the rules lately, and I applaud this council for doing that and for listening to us when we say we're not looking for any more manufactured homes in our neighborhoods, that we're trying to bring our community up in values and things, and that I understand that people have a rough time of it, but it sounds like a lot of people on Old Moody Road haven't gotten exceptions. And so I don't think it's fair to make exceptions now. Thank you.
Anybody else want to say something? Yes, ma'am?
I live in a manufactured home, and I have for almost 18 years. I take good care of my property. I drive through Eddy, all up and down Old Moody Road. There's people in beautiful manufactured homes. there's at least 2 new manufactured homes on Old Moody Road. They're beautiful, they're well taken care of. If there is an exception, you know, that allows for it, I say you vote for it, because it's just gonna improve. What are we gonna have, an empty field, you know, with no use happening? I say go for it. I think it's kind of an antiquated thing to look at mobile homes as being, you know, bringing the neighborhood down or bringing the area down. The new mobile homes that are coming out are gorgeous. They're just as nice as any house that you could build. And with the high cost of housing, a lot of people are turning to mobile homes so that they can get into a new house.
Yes, ma'am.
So that's just my opinion.
Thank you, ma'am. Yes, you had another
I
question?
think Ms.
Oh, you had a question, okay.
have
Well, I think it depends on where they're wanting to, what part of the city they're wanting to put it in. They're not asking to put it in a part of the city where you have a lot of brand-new brick homes coming in or anything like that. This is an area where there are other manufactured homes, and I would like to hear from the homeowner. I would like to hear from. Are you the
Yes.
person putting it? I'd like to hear from you what you have to say.
Thank you for letting me speak. I'm hard of hearing.
Okay,
very
that's
hard of hearing.
okay.
I applied for the conditional use permit for my parents. My mom's 79, my dad's 84. I'm doing this for them so they can live their last days close to us. I can't get them to move in with me. I don't know why. I tried, no, they need their own space. Maybe that's how I'm gonna be. I'm gonna need my own space when I get older, but they need help. Doctor's appointments, all of us are right there, all my family, my daughter next door, and there's a whole bunch of people that can help them out. And when they're staying out there, they have no help. And it would be nice to have senior citizens here in the community. Well, I've never been talking to anybody like this. I'm
okay.
nervous, but yes, I would very much appreciate it. If God lets us do this, it will be awesome for them and for me, so we can help them out.
Okay. All right, sir.
That's all I have.
We appreciate it.
Thank
Does
you.
anybody else have
I
any
got-
comments?
I got one.
Mr. Prater?
I wasn't here for the one meeting where y'all turned one down but I did listen to it on YouTube, and I heard some things that, you know, that don't want any more of them kind of homes in or them kind of people in, because I mean, every house that you build is going to take maintenance. I don't care if you build a $300,000 brick home, you're going to have to keep the maintenance up on it. My mother and father-in-law have a beautiful house, and it's a 1985 double wide, and they maintain it. Nobody's ever said anything about it because it's a nice home. And I don't understand what the downfall is of owning a $250,000 mobile home, and it's sitting there on a piece of land that's not being used for anything else. Who are we to say the right that somebody has to live? I don't understand it. I live in a mobile home, and I consider myself a pretty good person. I take care of my land, and if something breaks on it, I'm gonna fix it. And it's up to our code enforcement to make sure that they do fix it. So we have things in place for this, and these people are just trying to take care of their elderly parents. And I'm gonna make the motion that we approve this conditional use permit.
So you're making a motion right now?
Yes, I am.
I'd like to have some discussion.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, this is still a public hearing, so we can't make a motion yet. We're still in our
I
public hearing.
thought we already come out of the public.
No, we haven't closed it out yet.
Oh, okay.
We're still in discussions. We're still in discussions. I'm sorry. Yes, sir.
So I think we all need to also understand that there's a big difference between mobile homes and manufactured homes.
Yes.
Mobile homes ended in 1972, and those are those metal box ones that we associate with mobile home trailer parks back in the 60s and stuff, right? The manufactured homes of today are built to better standards than we build these houses in the town with. They're built on jigs, they're built precision, they're different quality of level, of course, depending on how much you pay for them, but they're gonna withstand just as much or better, what do you want to call it, wind and stuff like that, than some of these houses we're building today. And just like Richard said, the more you build them and clean them and maintenance them, is what's going to look like, you know. So building cost is so much better on these. It's so much effective. So that's all of that.
All right, is there any more discussions or?
The only discussion I've got, and it's been my same discussion all along, we have an ordinance. And so far, since I've been on the council, we have we've suspended that ordinance over and over and over again. You know, my recommendation is we get rid of the ordinance. It's an obstacle. You know, if we're going to be of the belief that we should allow manufactured homes in our community, then we need to visit the ordinance, because what we're doing is we're saying, I have an ordinance, but it doesn't count. And so that's important to me, that we somewhere along the way decided we weren't going to do the manufactured homes in certain areas. And now we're doing it over and over and over again. So let's look at the ordinance.
Yeah, I have a discussion a little one, okay, not a lot. But on manufactured homes, we've let some inside the city limits, that is true, but they have also had people that lived in that area came up and talked to the council and to the public and said, hey, we don't mind it. That is fine. It's not, they're welcome. But then we've had places where they have brand new homes, brick homes, expensive homes, and they go, no, we don't want this because they're going to turn it into a trailer park. You know, because that's what they talked about doing prior to this council. So we're listening to what the public, I mean, this is just my opinion, and it means nothing. You can't get you a cup of coffee anywhere. You know, as long as the people say, hey, I don't mind it being there next to me, you know, it's fine with me, I'm all for it. But it's the ones that says, no, I don't want it there. You know, I don't want them to have a manufactured home there. I'd rather for it to be this and this. Well, then they'll go find land somewhere else where they can get approved. That's just my personal opinion. Okay, Mr. Wiggins, did you have something to say?
No,
okay, he was going to say something. Yes, sir.
So like I brought up earlier, like if you look at the ordinance, it's either build a house or you got to have a modular home. The difference between a modular home and a manufactured home, it's tied to the property, can't be repossessed, and it's tied to that property until it burns down. You can build something else. You can't move off of it. So when you get a manufactured home or a mobile home, it can be repossessed. I mean, yeah, sometimes they put up the land, but they can just come take the mobile home and it ain't tied to nothing. So that's kind of the thing I was brought up earlier is I live on Pine Street. Yeah, there's another mobile home behind me, whatever, whatnot. There's actually several behind me, but is in the city ordinance, in which we went off the city ordinance, that it had to be a modular home, no manufactured home whatsoever. So that's what's kind of a big difference. A modular home is actually built a little bit more sturdier. They can stand up with a 150-mile-an-hour wind shear. Some mobile homes are better built, but I have 2x4 walls, interior walls, 2x6 walls on the outside. And actually on the modular home, it tells you where every wire, every plug, every stud is in that whole house. It's like it's built like a house. Manufactured home, the interior walls are built with 1x3s, and the outside walls are built by 2x4s. I know that for a fact because my My family's lived in a lot of them. We had to go in and rebuild them, whatever, whatnot. I'm not saying the houses are junk. I've lived in plenty of them. I love them. They're cheap. I mean, they're cheaper than building another house. It's more affordable for families. But is this going off the ordinance? Is it either had to be you build a house or it has to be a modular home, not a manufactured home?
Kent's already addressed that.
Yeah. Did you address that?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Yes, sir. We've actually got 3 different definitions in our zoning ordinance. So the mobile homes, as Doug had mentioned here earlier, are completely outlawed in the city limits. There is no conditional use permit process for that. Of course, they have been phased out from manufacturing in the United States. Then we have the manufactured home, which are the conditional use permits brought before you tonight, and then also modular homes. Modular homes and manufactured homes both have to go through the conditional use permit process to go anywhere outside of either Soul Circle or
Shady
the Park
Shores.
Lake subdivision, Shady Shores subdivision.
Can I say something?
Yes, ma'am.
Concerning the Councilman McGruer's comment on the ordinance, the ordinance gives us options. If someone, like the mayor was saying, you have folks come in and they don't want a manufactured home, say they just built a new brick home and they don't want that, then that ordinance gives us an option so we can hear what the people want and we have the option of saying no. Without the ordinance, there's nothing. There's no boundaries, there's no options. They can move their homes in anywhere they want to on any piece of property that they own. So we need to keep the ordinance. It has variance where they can ask for a variance and get their home put there if the people around them are saying we don't mind, and it's in an area where there are manufactured homes already there and the neighbors don't mind, then of course the council will consider that and make our decision based on that. But getting rid of the ordinance, I think, would be a very bad idea.
I got
Okay, Mr. Prater?
Every time we get a conditional use permit, I get in my truck and I drive out there. Because most people, they won't turn in a letter. They don't take the time out to send us a letter for or against it. I mean, that's just something that we have to do. So I get in my truck and I go over and I ask everybody that's around that neighborhood, just like I did for Brian over there. I went around and I asked everybody, is this okay with you? And if the neighbors don't want it, I'm gonna turn it down. But if somebody across town don't want it, as long as the neighbors want it, I'm gonna approve it myself. But I go out on every single one of them and I talk to the neighbors around there. I went out on, I think you're coming up on Hunger Hill. I went out and I talked to even Mr. Wilcox, talked to all of them, all the neighbors, and every one of them said, yeah, I'm fine with it. I went out to Old Moody Road, I talked to the neighbors. Nobody has a problem with it. Their neighbors don't have a problem with it. So that's all I got to say.
Do you have a question? A discussion?
It's my understanding that ordinances are laws, and as far as laws go, I'm going to guess that Chief Dorsey is going to be real upset with us if we start considering our laws as optional and having options to those stop signs and right-of-ways and other laws that we should be holding ourselves to. So if we're going to have an ordinance and it is a law, then we need to uphold that. Thank you.
There's a variance to that law.
There's
also.
a variance.
Okay, all right, one at a
There is a
time.
variance,
One at a
but
time.
the comment was that it gave options, and it does not. It's a law.
Wait,
So
question back there.
I'm just, I agree with Councilman McGruer's comments is what I'm saying.
Okay. No, I have, Miss Pam back there has a question. No, ma'am, it's still going on.
Yeah.
Quit talking, okay. Sounds good. Yes, ma'am. I'd like for her to stop it so I can go on.
My name's Diana Richardson, and I just wanted to say that there's a brand-new manufactured home right across the street from where where he wants to put his, and that's all.
Okay, all right. That's all the comments we're going to take in right now. Okay, it is now 6:51 and this public hearing is closed. And it is 6:51 and our regular council session is back open. So on number 10, we have a conditional use permit for a manufactured home and for a 1975 Old Moody Road. Council discuss, consider, and probably take action on a request by Anna Soto. I know Soto. For a conditional use permit for a manufactured home to be installed at 1975 Old Moody Road, Eddy, Texas. Hartford, abstract, a property currently zoned for single-family residential dwelling. And before I ask for anything here, Kent, would you explain, please, to everyone what a conditional use permit is? Again.
I will certainly do my best, Mayor. So the ordinance, the zoning ordinance states the different classifications of land use, and it maps that out. And it essentially says that nobody can do anything outside of that use. However, the ordinance also has a process, the conditional use permit process, that allows for certain things to be allowed in certain areas only by council's approval. Now, traditionally, we have seen this through the manufactured home, but there could be a lot of different conditional use permits that could be brought before us. You could have for example, I'm trying to pull something out of my hat here.
Tiny home?
Well, something other than housing.
Something other than housing.
For example, I'm drawing a blank
Like a
on
shop, a business?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
A business in a single-family residential, and instead of just rezoning that, the conditional use permit allows for this business to operate in that zoning with permission.
Yes.
Now, it can be revoked at any time by council, but it doesn't change the zoning and allow certain uses by right.
Okay, all right, thank you, sir. Okay, so do I have any more comments or a motion, Mr. Wiggins?
Okay. You know, I think there is a place for the ordinance, and I do believe that variances are there for a reason. And I do believe that there's a difference between a manufactured home and a modular home. However, it does state that it can be a manufactured home in our ordinance, and as Kent has stated. And I do believe that this location of this one is not going to be detrimental to anyone surrounding that. So with that said, I'll make the motion to approve a conditional use permit for a manufactured home on 1975 Old Moody Road.
I'll second.
Okay, Mr. Prater, I think he's looking at me. All right, all in favor? 4 out of 5 opposed?
No, he voted for it.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see your hand, sir, I'm sorry. Oh, okay, congratulations. I didn't see the hand go up, I apologize, Mr. McGruer. Okay, number 11, public hearing. Okay, here we go again, okay. Come on, we can't get all these together. Okay, it is now 6:55 and our regular council session is closed. It is 6:55 and we have a public hearing, and it's a conditional use permit application for 210 Hungry Hill Road. Council to hear public comments pertaining to a requested conditional use permit for a manufactured home to be installed at 210 Hungry Hill Road in Eddy Extension, a property currently zoned for single-family residential dwelling. The public hearing is open to any interested person with opinions except for us council people. On objections and or comments related to this matter. Comments related to this matter may only be expressed via email, email, or by appearing in person. Another person or attorney may also represent you, okay? It's open to the public. Kent?
Yes, ma'am. So I will go ahead and skip this slide. I think we hit everything on the head. because this is a similar CUP request. So we'll skip that. This is the property map of 210 Hungry Hill Road. This is a larger lot. However, it's split up into 3 different tracks. The owners are looking to put a second manufactured home towards the rear, and you can see over here to the right-hand side, the east side, that is actually Duty Park there. So this would be somewhat in line with Duty Park, but I'd say maybe half a football field away from Hungry Hill. I could be pretty far off on that. So here's some pictures of the property. The one on the right-hand side is the current manufactured home that was approved by council January 26, 2023. And the one there on the left was the older structure on Hungry Hill Road that is currently being used for auxiliary purposes. Here's some general pictures of Hungry Hill Road. You can see the first 2 are just facing across the street. One is a left-hand photo and the other one is a right-hand photo. So the owner of this, or the requester of this conditional use permit, is desiring to install a newer manufactured home. They're looking for 1,500 to 2,400 square feet on undeveloped land. The original plan, however, back in with the first CUP, was to build a site home. At least that's what the letter was saying. So we do have the property owners here tonight, and they can speak to that. Manufactured homes can be found along Hungry Hill Road, both within the city limits and in parcels along County Road 427 of unincorporated Falls County. Again, the conditional use permit will go with the land and can be revoked following the same process by council. And as required by state law, the notice has been published in the Waco Tribune Herald, and 7 notices were sent out to adjacent property owners.
All right. Do we have any comments? Y'all need to, anybody will have any discussion about it out there in the audience about this? Okay, yes, sir. Mr. Colton.
I have a question. So is he building a home behind his current manufactured home?
Okay, that would be something for him to explain. Okay.
Yes, it would be on the 1 acre parcel, which is behind those 2 smaller lots in the front, so it'd be in the far back. No, the current one will remain. Yeah.
All right, thank you. No, it's going to
It
remain.
will remain, yeah.
Okay. Any more comments? Comments? Okay, all right. Okay, it is now 6:58 and this public hearing is now closed, and it is 6:58 and our regular council meeting is now open. Let's see, let me go here to get to the right one. Conditional use permit, manufactured home at 210 Hungry Hill Road. Council to discuss, consider, and probably take action on your request by Doug and Minnie Wells for a conditional use permit for a manufactured home to be installed at 210 Hungry Hill Road, Eddy, Texas. Eddy Extension, a property currently zoned for single-family residential dwelling. Okay? Yes, ma'am.
I know this is probably not going to put me in favor with anyone up here because you guys just approved the last one, even though some of us did say, and it was mixed feelings in the room as to yes or no. But I know we said no last time to this. I would say no again to this. And I live on Hungry Hill Road, where I would love to see less manufactured homes because it took this couple months to make it look anywhere close to what those pictures looked like. And again, not favorable comments, but it just doesn't have the same appearance as, I think, the normal homes. So, thank you.
Can I,
And any, Mr. Prater?
this is the house you're putting on there, correct? I would much rather see this house than most of the houses that's on Hungry Hill right now.
Oh,
That's the
what they're
house.
putting in?
That's the house that they're putting on that land.
That's very nice.
Well, here,
We'll pa-
well, that's the kind of houses I'd like to see come in there because the property value is going to go up.
So you won't be able to see it, you just said it.
Yeah,
You're worried
so it
about
shouldn't
looking at it. Hey, you just admitted that you won't be able to see it.
Okay. All right. One person at a time, please. Okay? Mr. Wiggins?
Okay.
Oh, I love
I'll make a motion that we approve the conditional use permit for the manufactured home on 210 Hungry Hill Road.
I'll
Do I
second.
have a second? Mr. Baldwin? All in favor? Unanimous. Okay, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, now, number 14, police chief report. Chief Dorsey? We're only halfway through. You're all right. Oh, having him up there.
Thank you, ma'am. Good evening, Mayor and Council, and thank you for everyone for being here. Hope everyone's doing well tonight.
Are you doing good?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Always doing good.
Okay, are you Janie? Well, we're so proud to finally hear from you back there in that corner.
All right, got our June 2024 Police Department report to share with y'all. For the month of June, we had 130 calls for service for reports to include offense, arrest incident and offense, a total of 8. Criminal offense arrest, total of 5. Crash reports, total of 9. Citations and warnings, 311. Citations total 217. Warnings total 94. Other activities for the month: security checks 101, neighborhood patrols 48, directed traffic enforcement 24. Also have our call type report breakdown, then our citations and warnings breakdown in my monthly report. I think that's it for our June report. I'm going to have Walter give his report. Had a couple announcements to share with y'all. We still have our school supplies collection going on. I appreciate everyone donating for that. We have a bunch of school supplies. I was brainstorming on what the best way to distribute, and I think the best plan for that will be to just be at the school during the Meet the Teachers event on August the 12th from 3:30 to 6:30. Either myself or an officer will be out there in a patrol car. We'll have all the school supplies loaded up, and then whoever needs those supplies, they can just come up and get whatever they need, no questions asked. So we'll be there, and we'll be happy to give whoever that has a need for that. We'll be there to give them a backpack full of school supplies until we run out. So also next month, I'm going to be attending the Texas Police Chief Leadership Series training, week-long training. It's going to be August 19th through the 23rd in Round Rock this time. In the past, the one good thing about this and classes in the future, in the past we've had to pay for the class as well as my hotel stay, but now the association has decided to pay for so the cost of the class is free, as well as wherever the location's going to be, they block out however many rooms, and then if you sign up for that block of rooms, then it's 100% covered, it's free.
There'd be one motel I wouldn't want to stay at if I was going to go party.
Hotel full of police officers,
With all the
police
cops.
chiefs.
So I thought that was pretty cool. They're doing that now.
Yes,
They're
that's
covering
wonderful.
they're covering the most of the costs associated with that training. So, and then just real quick, it's been weighing on my mind a lot, and I'm sure it has everyone else. But just the event, the incident, the tragic incident that happened in Butler, Pennsylvania, July 13th. So I've been thinking about that a lot. It's been on my mind, been on my heart. Just tragic all around. Should have never happened.
Amen.
I'm not trying to get open the political door here by any means, but yeah, I just want to, my just thoughts and prayers go out to the victims, the gentleman that lost his life that day, protecting his family, that passed away, and then the other 2 victims that were wounded, and then
The president.
President Trump that almost took his life as well. And by the grace of God, he's still here,
Yes, sir.
thankfully. And so I just want to recognize that incident and just send our thoughts and prayers to everyone involved in that.
I think we should have a moment of silence if you'd like, sir.
Sure.
If you would all just take just about a minute of silence, please, for this family. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, Chief.
Yes, sir.
Chief, I have one thing. What about our SRO officer? Do we have one?
Not yet.
Not a full-time SRO, no, sir.
Okay.
My plan for that is to have a temporary fill-in until we fill that permanently. So,
Okay. We're going to temporarily fill it from within?
yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, that's all I had. Thank you.
So, I mean, my plan, and I know the school, because this has happened in the past, you know, we've started previous school years without a full-time school resource, and we've had to kind of fill in as needed and kind of until we've filled that spot. So that's going to be the plan. Either myself or one of the officers is going to be a temporary fill-in until we can get someone over there full-time, because the last thing I want to do is start the school year without someone
Oh,
over there.
yes.
So
That's right.
well, that's
Great.
definitely not going to happen that way. So,
Okay,
All right.
thank you.
Thank
Yes,
you,
sir.
Chief.
so thank you all.
Okay.
Hey, Chief.
Ms. Walter?
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Walter Nelson. This is my first time up here. I do want to let you guys know we have a total of 87 violations from the month of June 15th to July 19th. 2 heavy hitters being high grass and rubbish, following up with junk vehicles. We have a total of 92 cases, 23 complete, compliant, and closed, 20 non-compliant so far. 10 had requested more time, and we have given out 39 citations for our non-compliant citizens so far.
All right. Thank you, Walter.
All right.
And Walter is our new code enforcer for the ones y'all haven't met yet. Okay. All right. Public Works Department, and that goes to Gene, but Gene is not available, so Kent's going to be giving his report.
Well, I can answer any questions. Johnny Grady, our Public Works Supervisor, was going to be here tonight. However, they are currently fixing a leak over on Lusk Creek, so they're getting that pressurized right now. If you live in that area and you're watching on YouTube, that should be back in order here in just a few minutes. Gene is available by phone if you have any questions for tonight.
Does anybody have any questions about the water? Mr. Wiggins?
Just a comment about I noticed our water loss decreased over 20% from last month. That's good. However, the flushing increased by over 82%. I'm not sure about that from last month. Do we know why that is?
No, sir, I don't.
Okay. And then one other thing on, got an email on this about on 4th Street. Well, no, I'm sorry. Mackey Ranch Road, 7269, next to Miss Owens' property. Our guys had went out there and dug the ditch out to help the flow of water. And do you have pictures of it? There
Yes,
it
sir.
is.
There's my ditch.
Right, right. And all that dirt right over there, and there's some rocks and some concrete. This lady said, you know, she'd like to see that cleaned up. It's going to be hard to mow around that. And I agree. I think we need to get out there and haul that dirt off and take a rake and rake it rocks and haul that up, clean it up, where they can mow.
Yes, sir. What they done, they went and dug it one day, then it started raining, and they're hoping that the water is settling down enough that they can get in there with the equipment without tearing. If they go in there while it's too wet, it's going to tear up the yards. Right now, it's in the easements where the ditch and stuff is. They took out a culvert. I had one extra one there. They took it out and just made a straight ditch, and then we used that culvert somewhere else at another place that needed one. I talked to my neighbor next door. She came and talked to me about all of this, and her only thing was that she just wished she'd have been notified prior to them doing this, because she just come home one day and it was there. And I told her I understood that, and I apologized for it. And so everything worked out pretty good on that. She did say she was going to go ahead and send the email, and I told her just as soon as it dried up enough, they're going to go in there, because the ditches, nobody mows those ditches in there but me. I mow hers, I mow mine, and all the ladies down the street on the next door to her. Because I have a zero turn, and they had this set up riding one, and my zero turn, I can lean pretty much. But on this now, I may not be able to lean much, but they're going to come in there and they are going to come in and level it off, smooth it out, and fix it some way where we can at least mow it, I hope.
Okay.
And that's what they said. Yes, sir.
Okay, that's all I had. Thank you.
Can
Yeah,
I? Go ahead.
yes, sir. Shut up.
I'm Rick Edmiston. I want to know the status on Friendly Oaks in Westview Wells.
You betcha, sir. I'll get to that in the city administrator's report.
Okay. Right, Ms. McLaughlin?
I just have a question for Kent on the ditch. Can we instruct our water workers, is there something we could, like a door hanger or something we could leave on a citizen's door where we're doing some kind of ditch work or culvert work, so that they wouldn't come home from work and see they would know maybe the day before or something? Is there some way we could do that?
Absolutely, yes, ma'am. We
And
can work
that
to
might would
rectify that
cut
easily.
down on, because that was her main, she understood us having to fix she was all okay with that. It was just her not knowing it kind of threw her off. And so if we could avoid that in the future, it'd be great.
And I told her we would.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Anybody else? Anybody other questions about the water? If not, we'll move right along. Okay, we're going to do the engineer's report. Kent, do we have anything? We have any questions about the engineer's report, or
If there's any questions
Any
out there, we can
questions?
certainly work to address them.
no questions on the engineer? Okay, our city administrator's report, do we have one?
We do, we do. I was prepared this month. I was actually in town. So, yes, Mayor, Council, Community, this is City Administrator's Report. Please let me know if you have any questions. I will skip over a lot of items that we have already addressed tonight, but if I forget something, feel free to ask or follow up with me afterwards. I'm always happy to help. So first and foremost, Bruceville-Eddy Volunteer Fire Department is exploring a cost recovery program. So traditionally, they have not sent out bills for their services. They are looking to do that specifically for those incidences that occur along I-35. I think it's a good 80 to 90% of the work that they're doing. Of course, a lot of those residents, or a lot of those folks that do have an incident on I-35 aren't Bruceville-Eddy residents. So they're looking to work with a vendor to push that cost off onto the insurance companies. And of course, that vendor would take a cut for them processing this. Anyways, bottom line, they're looking to come before council with a model ordinance that would allow them the authority to do this. So you should see that before you in August. Flooding and drainage work, I'll bring up some more pictures here. We have been working, now that the rains have subsided, on several different areas around town. We do have a drainage work plan. The work on Mackey Ranch, yes, it was pretty messy, but again, the rains came and we weren't able to finish the job over there. So our guys will be back to work that one. The culvert that was removed from Mackey Ranch was moved over to a section that needed it along Horseshoe Bend. You can see it installed right there. So that was a complaint we were working off of that should allow for some better flow. Actually, we actually went out and took a look at it, and it is flowing much better than it was previously. And I will just address that. I know a lot of this work has been occurring around the mayor's house, right? And I don't know if there's been any questions that came up there, but the perception is there that we are just maybe working to help out with the mayor, and that is certainly not the case. This has really been the bulk of the area that we have had flooding issues with, which is why we are targeting the most time, and it is our priority to do this. We had 1, 2, 3, 4 houses actually flood from the rains last month. So we are trying to make sure that that does not happen again by increasing the ditch size, making sure that water is flowing off. And from the rains this past week, it looks like it was holding up. That was good news. Street repairs, so we'll move on to that one there. McLennan County did finish up their road overlays. We got 4th Street, Gurley Lane, and Pine Street all completed. Look totally different than where they were 4 or 5 months ago. Thanks to City Council for approving that. Thanks to the street committee. We hope to do more roads in the next year. Moving on right along here. So an update on our sewer system. So right now we are currently in the loan closing process. We did receive those loan closing instructions by USDA's legal team. From what I'm being told is a record time. Apparently they submitted the request in the morning and it came back in the afternoon. Usually this process takes 2 to 3 weeks, so we will take the win on that. However, we did get another list of items. We're working off providing insurance for the new facilities that are coming in. We have to work to establish sewer system accounts. That's one of the items here before council tonight. We also have to recertify again the amount of connections that we will have on this project. Just an update, you've probably heard us talk a little bit about this. We were requesting additional funding from Pete Sessions' office through the appropriations process. This year we did receive official approval letters, or sorry, not an approval letter, official denial letter saying we were not selected for that. We asked for $7 million, we went big. They dialed it back down to 3 to see if that would work, but it did not. We will certainly try again next year to see if maybe we can get another section added onto the sewer with those funds. Onto our water system. So the West Ridge Rail is back online. It's back online full time. The only time that we're turning it off is when we have thunderstorms, just to help prevent any additional electrical surging events at that site. But it's helping provide vital relief for all the purchases that we're buying from Bluebonnet right now. Friendly Oaks Well is still down. We've had the techs out from Phase Tech, which is the manufacturer of the variable frequency drive. Apparently something might have happened when the motor went out. We don't know if it was a part of the same surge event, if it caused the motor to go out. There's really no way we'll ever know. However, there were some small components on it, BGFDs. I'm probably getting that acronym all messed up. But they ordered those and covered it under warranty, and they swapped those out. However, that did not solve the problem. So right now we're pushing to get a factory certified technician to come down here and look this thing, or just completely replace that VFD, because we know that's a hang up. Of course, another option would be to just skip our protection that we currently have in place and get this well back online. That's not something that I'm recommending to anybody at this time. But if we did ever get into a pinch, we could certainly go that route. We do have a different type of motor in this. On another note, we have received full warranty credit from Franklin Motors for both of the motor failures that occurred over the last 9 months, which is a huge win. Those came in totaling $67,460. So that's a big one there. As a reminder, this well has been down since March 22nd, 2024, so multiple months here. And before that, it had only been online for 3 weeks prior to the last time it went out in October. So this is just a constant event at this site. Wish we had easy answers, but I'm telling you, we've had probably 20 people out there from various vendors. Everybody still continues to scratch their head on what is going on with this site. It may come to a point where we might have to really bring some more radical ideas on how to get this up and running, maybe replacing all the lines, replacing the pump house, but that's yet to be determined. We're going to continue to try to push the manufacturer of this VFD to get the warranty covered, and hopefully that will be the path of least resistance and get us up and running. Falls County improvements. So we're currently awaiting all the bond requirements to be met and documents returned by the selected contractor. Once this task is complete, we're ready to move forward with construction. We have a meeting set for the 30th of July for a pre-construction meeting. So you'll see dirt turning out there over the next month and a half or so. I'm almost pretty sure of it. And with that, I will answer any other questions that you might have on our development activities or anything else in general.
Does anyone have any questions? Anybody in the audience or anybody from the council have any question on that?
I do have a question
Yes, sir.
on the drainage part. Did we ever do anything out there at Shady Shores where it flooded that house? Didn't we have some money that come in that they're supposed to do some work or something out there?
So that was a McLennan County project. They did approve a contractor to go up there. I think the approval was for $50,000 worth of that, and so they worked to drain it down. But no, sir, that doesn't address the long-term issue.
Okay, but they did go out. He moved?
Yeah,
Okay.
they did move.
Oh, okay. I was just wondering about it.
Yeah, they did move. All right, anybody? Yes, ma'am. Would you come to the mic, please? I'm sorry. Need to stretch your legs anyway.
I guess so. On the city administrator report, it has an issue that wasn't discussed, and that was the property sales for the two properties that have not paid the taxes. Would you let us know about that, please?
Sure, absolutely. So we had two properties. One was on Eagle and the other one is on Evergreen that have been back due their taxes for many years. However, these weren't just easy cases. The ownership was in question, and so our attorneys had to go through quite a bit of court processes to get to the point where they can foreclose upon the property, get not only our back taxes for us, but also for all the entities that are owed, like the school district, like the county, their taxes, and also a huge municipal lien that has generated interest over the years for work that has been done to that property. So you're probably familiar with it. I think it's 404 Eagle. And the other one, I don't know if it has a 911 address over on Evergreen, but those should go to sale early September. And then once that occurs, the new owners, we will know who they are, and hopefully they will go about making these properties better than they were before.
Yes, ma'am. Any other questions? Yes, sir.
What's the status on CEFCO?
CEFCO? Yes, sir. So CEFCO is working to select their general contractor. I think they have wrapped that up entirely, and they plan on breaking ground in late August. We are working to set up a pre-construction, pre-inspection meeting for them in early August, but we don't have that ironed out just yet.
Any other questions? Okay, we'll move right along. Thank you, Kent.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. All right. This is our consent agenda. All items listed on the consent agenda will be considered by the City Council and will be enacted on by one motion. There will be no separate discussions of these items unless a council member or a member of the public so request. A, approval of the minutes. B, financial for June 2024. C, interlocal agreements with the TMLIRP, cyber liability coverage. D, engagement of the 2023-2024 financial audit and annual compensation financial report. E, approval invoice, Alliance Electrical Group. F, approval invoice of the American Lube and Mechanical. G, approval invoice, Dana Safety Supply Incorporation. H, approval proposal of Ron Perry Water Technology Inc., I, approval invoice Core and Main LP. J, establishing the 2025 city holiday schedule. K, creation of the sewer-related banking account. Do you have anybody to approve these or anything they need to pull out? Mr. Wiggins?
No, I don't have anything to pull out. I'll make a motion, move to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second.
Mr. Griffin, second that?
No.
Oh, Mr. Prater, I'm sorry, I thought it come from Griffin.
That's
Sorry about that,
close.
sir. Well, y'all both have mustaches now, so it's hard to tell. Okay, all in favor? Unanimous, thank you. All right, number 20. Ordinance amending the master fee schedule, solid waste rate. Council to discuss, consider, and possibly take action on ordinance O7-25-2024-1, increasing residential and commercial solid waste collection and disposal rate by 3.42% in response to a CPI adjustment request from Waste Connection Long Star Incorporation. Okay, Kent?
Mayor, Council, this is a reoccurring theme each year. Our solid waste vendor is allowed to ask for an increase via their CPI provision, the Consumer Price Index, for inflationary pressures, and they provided you with the documentation on that one, how they're seeing that increase. So tonight before you is an ordinance to increase those trash rates by the same 3.42%. The city does take that same approximately 3% for administrative services for the solid waste. So my recommendation on this one is to approve the ordinance as presented. Here's what those new trash rates would look like if we moved forward. We got the current residential cart is $17.95.97, and that would go up to $18.58 per month.
We have a motion or a discussion? Mr. McGruer?
I'll move to approve the new trash rates.
Okay.
I'll
All right.
second.
And Mr. Prater, second that. All in favor? Unanimous. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. All right, 21, ordinance creating a plat submittal calendar. Council discuss, consider, and possibly take action on an ordinance O7-25-2024-3, establishing and approving a subdivision plat submittal calendar, authorizing the city administrator or his or her designee to amend the subdivision plat submittal calendar and reducing deadlines for numbers of days to submit a plat application before city council meeting.
Mayor, thank you. This was a ordinance we've been working on for the last couple months. This comes at the recommendation of our city attorney. A little bit of background on why we're bringing this before council tonight. So state law, local government code 212-0015 allows for the creation of a plat submission calendar to facilitate compliance with the approval process described in the various sections. So currently our ordinance, Exhibit 10A, which is the subdivision ordinance, requires that a plat be filed at least 30 days prior to a regular city council meeting. However, state law, local government code 212-009 states that if a plat is not acted upon by a governing body within 30 days of said filing, then it is automatically approved by function of law. So to prevent plats from being automatically approved, we're recommending these changes so that everything gets to come before council. So this calendar would change our ordinances to be in line with the restrictions that are imposed upon us by state law. It does provide for a more orderly plat review process by establishing a singular date for plat submissions each and every month. It limits the number of special called council meetings that must be scheduled to take proper action on plats, which I think everybody will be appreciative of. Maybe not the developers, but certainly everybody in this room. So the purpose of this one, so it's going to amend the ordinance to go down from 30 days prior to to 20 days prior to, which will allow staff to be in compliance with state law while ensuring that council is given the time that they need to review and act on these plats. Furthermore, it establishes this plat submission calendar. It was a recommendation by our city attorney, and it will limit the submissions to a uniform date each and every month, almost guaranteeing that plats from here on out will be considered only at the regular scheduled meeting. And it gives staff and consulting engineers enough of the time we need to review and prepare materials for these city council meetings. Essentially, this ordinance will fix the majority, but not all, of the timeline issues we have been dealing with over the last couple years due to the rise in plat submissions. This option will give approximately 1 week of buffer room after the regular city council meeting, but within that 30 days to act period, should council need to postpone their action and seek additional information from staff or the developer. And that way we could schedule another special call council meeting after the fact to get all that hashed out. So here's what the plat submittal calendar would look like for the rest of 2024. This would essentially be on the first day of the month. However, we do modify that a little bit for holidays or weekends. The submission calendar for 2025 would be created by staff in December, and it would essentially follow that first business day model. So here's what it would kind of look like on a calendar. So Thursday, August the 1st, we would intake plat submissions. And then immediately after that, you're going to hit your 20-day blackout period prior to the regular meeting. So no plat submissions on those dates. This here is where we would typically take up the plats, and then the following week, if we had to, we could schedule a special call council meeting. So how would this work in practice? The developer drops off the plat with the city administrator or city secretary on the submission day. We will utilize a recently provided checklist from MRB Group. We're going to determine if that plat is sufficient and deemed submitted. If our internal checklist finds that the plat is deficient in any manner, we're going to go ahead and reject that for being administratively incomplete. This essentially just means that we don't have all the legally required information that our ordinance says must be submitted with the plat. So the plat would have to be reworked, and it could be resubmitted on the following submission date, i.e. a whole nother month later. Right now, we don't currently have the authority to do that. We have to intake them whenever they're presented to us. If plats are sufficient to be considered submitted, they will then be dropped off with MRB Group the same day or the following business day for further technical review. So assuming that they find no problems with that, they will still consider it submitted, and if it moves forward from there, it will be deemed filed on the day it was taken in here at the office. I know this is kind of getting into the weeds on the jargon with all this, but it's very defined in state law. Let's move on just a little bit further down here. So if everything is considered administratively complete, meaning BE staff and our engineers can determine that all the information is requested, has been provided, then it's considered that filed. And we deem that on August 1st as the filing date, meaning that 30 days is triggered. So here's what an example would look like. I can go into details on that. Otherwise, I can just kind of skip over this and we can come back to it if we need further clarification. Hearing no objections, I'll move forward and save us a little bit of time. My recommendation is approve this ordinance as presented.
Okay. Do we have any discussion, anything said about it, or anybody want to make a motion? Mr. McGruer?
I'll make a motion that we approve ordinance 7-25-2024-3 to amend the subdivision plat submittal calendar.
Okay.
I'll second.
Okay. All in favor? Unanimous. Thank you. All right. 22, approval of proposed tax rate. Council discuss, consider, and possibly take action to approve the proposed ad valorem. I can't even say that. Valorem. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce that right. But I get it. Valorem taxes for the year of 2024, FY 2024-2025 at a rate of 0.460000 per $100. Assessed valuation of all taxable property within the corporate limits of the city of Bruceville-Eddy as of January the 1st of 2024.
Mayor, just a brief update on this. For anybody out in the audience, if you missed our workshop, we talked a little bit about the tax rate and the budget for the upcoming year. What we're doing tonight is just approving the proposed tax rate. There will still be another tax hearing later on in August where you can have further discussions. This really just gives us the ability to move forward with our budget as currently presented because we're projecting off of these numbers here. But you can see the rate for Bruceville-Eddy still stays at that 46-cent level, and it is quite comparable with some of our neighbors.
Any discussions, any comments, any motions?
I'll make a motion that we approve the proposed ad valorem taxes for the year 2024, fiscal year 2024 through 2025 at a rate of 0.460000 per $100.
I'll second.
Okay, Prater. I'm sorry, did somebody have a question out here? Oh. Oh, yes, ma'am. He's doing great. Thank you. All right, all in favor? Unanimous, thank you. All right, number 24. It is now, okay, I'm going to read it first. Executive session. The city council shall meet in executive session to discuss the following vehicle incident. And it is now 7:37. And, okay, let's go ahead and do the code. The vehicle incident, Texas Government Code Section 551.074, personal matters, discussion regarding the appointment, employment, evaluation, reassignments, duties, discipline, or dismissal of public officer or employee, or to hear a complaint or charge against an officer or employee, Public Works Director, Texas Government Code at ANN.551.074. And it is now 7:38, and this session is closed. If y'all please turn your mic off until we get back. We'll be back shortly, we promise.
Potty break. He couldn't hold it.
Be sure to turn your mics back on, please. Okay.
We still got one.
It is now 7:58 and our executive session is over, and it is 7:58 and our regular council session is now back going. Reconvene into the open session. Possible action on issue discussed in executive session.
Okay, I'm going to make a motion that we authorize Kent to contact the city attorney and work out with him the proper way to amend our employee policy to address the situation that brought about this executive session.
Okay, all right. That sound good? All right, Mr. Prater, second that. All in favor? Unanimous. Okay, thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Okay.
I second.
Okay, Mr. Prater made a motion to adjourn and Joyce seconded. It is 7:59 and this meeting is now closed. Please turn off your mics.